At the beginning of the story, we see two buses moving along the road. These buses are filled with many schoolgirls, all heading to their classes. Among them is a girl named Mitsuko, who looks very cute. She's busy writing something in her notebook. Then, her friends start teasing her, saying, "Do you always keep writing? What's the point of making these notes? Look, everyone's having fun, why aren't you?" Saying this, one of her friends snatches her notebook, and Mitsuko's pen falls to the floor. As she bends down to pick it up, we see something rush past at an incredible speed, cutting right through both buses, slicing all the girls in half. Meanwhile, when Mitsuko stands up, she's completely shocked to see what just happened. Because she bent down to pick up her pen, she survived. Terrified, she gets off the bus and starts running away. We then realize that the thing cutting everyone wasn't anything else, it was the wind itself. This deadly wind begins chasing Mitsuko too. Seeing this, Mitsuko screams and runs as fast as she can. While running, she sees 4 other girls ahead and shouts for them to duck, but it's already too late. The wind slices them in half as well. However, Mitsuko manages to save one of the girls. Then, they see some other girls riding bicycles nearby. Mitsuko tries to warn and save them too, but the same thing happens. The wind cuts them apart just like before. The girl Mitsuko had just saved also dies in the process. Seeing all this, Mitsuko becomes even more terrified and keeps running aimlessly. Up ahead, she reaches a riverside and is shocked to see that the river is already filled with bodies, all victims of the same invisible force. She takes clothes from one of the corpses and changes. In the next scene, Mitsuko keeps walking until she arrives at a school filled with other female students. Their uniforms are completely different from hers, meaning she doesn't belong to that school. Just then, a girl approaches her and asks, "How are you feeling?" It turns out she's Mitsuko's best friend. But Mitsuko, confused, asks her, "Are you really my best friend?" because she can't understand what's happening to her. She's in deep shock. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind blows, and Mitsuko, frightened, runs inside the building. Her best friend, confused, asks, "Why are you trembling so much? Why are you so scared? What's wrong with you?" Mitsuko then tells her everything, how the wind came and sliced all her classmates apart. Hearing this, her friend takes her to the window, puts Mitsuko's hand outside, and says, "Look, it's just wind, nothing else." This calms Mitsuko a little, and she starts to think maybe this is all just a dream. After that, Mitsuko's best friend decides to plan a class closure with 2 other friends. When all 4 of them are about to leave the classroom, their teacher walks in and spots them. The girls immediately run away and end up by a pond. There, Mitsuko's best friend tells her 2 friends about her dream. One of the girls says, "Maybe it's real, like a mirror world, where everything is the opposite of this world." Saying that, she throws a stone into the pond and continues, "Look, I threw a stone here, but maybe in the other world, I didn't." Suddenly, a crocodile jumps out of the pond and devours the girl. The remaining girl says, "See, I told you, whatever happens in this world doesn't happen in that world, and what happens there can't happen here. So maybe it was the otherworld crocodile that ate her. Look, she's perfectly fine here." Near the pond, they find a bed and start playing with the pillows. From a distance, we see 2 girls watching them. One of them is dressed as a bride, the 2 have married each other. One of them says, "We have to do something impossible in this world, something that can't happen there, because our fates are already written, but we can still change them." Then, they all return to school to attend the next lecture. Mitsuko notices a pillow placed beside her. When she bends to pick it up, her teacher suddenly starts firing a gun across the entire classroom. As Mitsuko raises her head, she sees that all the other girls are dead. Once again, she's the only survivor, just like before. Her teacher approaches her and says, "How dare you close this class? You'll die too." Just then, 2 girls rush in and try to help Mitsuko escape, but another teacher appears and kills both of them. Now, with the remaining students who are still alive, Mitsuko runs outside, but all the teachers start shooting at them. During the chaos, as they flee the school, the wind strikes again and slices everyone apart. Mitsuko is once again the only one left alive. She runs through a crowded area and finally reaches a police station, where she starts explaining everything. After listening, a female officer says, "But you're not wearing a school uniform." When the officer places a mirror in front of her, Mitsuko sees that her appearance has completely changed, and people are calling her by another name, not Mitsuko. We learn that she's about to get married. The police officer then takes her to her wedding ceremony, Onlookers congratulate her as she's escorted to the church. At the church, Mitsuko's best friend is also present. Mitsuko asks, "What's happening to me?" Her friend replies, "Stay quiet. We're under someone's control right now. Do exactly as I say." She helps Mitsuko put on a wedding dress and tells her to walk down the aisle. As Mitsuko proceeds, all the other girls there start mocking her. Enraged, her best friend begins killing them one by one. Then, when Mitsuko approaches the altar, she finds a coffin instead of a groom. When the coffin is opened, a giant pig emerges from it. Horrified, Mitsuko attacks it with a broken bottle. Afterward, Mitsuko and her best friend flee from the church. At the gate, 2 more girls try to stop them, but Mitsuko's best friend kills them too. Mitsuko runs in another direction, realizing something is terribly wrong with her world. Later, when she looks into another mirror, she again sees herself transformed. Now she's in the middle of a running competition. Some girls beside her say, "You're such a good runner. Why are you just standing there? Start running." When she begins running, she feels a surge of energy inside her. She runs with full effort to win, and along the way, she sees the spirits of her dead friends from the school. Her best friend appears too. They realize that the same pig and women from the church are now chasing them. While running, some girls tell Mitsuko, "Get out of this world." Then, Mitsuko ends up in a dark, deserted place where she finds several students in uniforms. These girls tell her, "We're all dead, and you'll die too." Just then, Mitsuko's best friend arrives and kills one of the girls to save her. She tells Mitsuko to keep shouting her own name, and Mitsuko does so loudly, repeating it over and over until she returns to her true form. Her best friend then shows her hand and says, "Please remove this wire from my hand so I can leave this world." Mitsuko hesitates, afraid that pulling it might kill her friend. Because she loves her deeply, she doesn't want to hurt her. After much pleading, she finally pulls the wire, and her best friend's body splits in half. At that moment, Mitsuko sees a door. As she steps through it, she realizes she's now in a world of men. Posters of her are displayed everywhere, and some men are looking at them. One man comes up to her and says, "You're in the future." Hearing this, she faints. When she wakes up sometime later, she walks ahead and sees an old man playing a video game, and inside the game, Mitsuko appears as the very same character she has become. The old man tells her, "I'm the one who created this game and the one controlling all of you. You died long ago, but I used your DNA to recreate you." After learning that her world is just a game, Mitsuko realizes she might still have a chance to return to her real world. Suddenly, another man appears and calls her over. The old man tells Mitsuko to complete her final level. As she moves forward, Mitsuko remembers her best friend's words, "If we do something in this world that's impossible in the other, you'll escape the game." With that, she grabs the old man's cane, strangles him, and says, "Stop playing with us." Then she stabs herself in the stomach with the cane, killing herself. The old man never imagined Mitsuko could do something like this, and with that, her fate completely changes. In the game world, she dies, but in reality, she remains alive. We're then shown that the other versions of Mitsuko also kill themselves for their own reasons, and they all cease to be part of the game. In the final scene, Mitsuko is seen lying peacefully in a snowy place. She has finally returned to her real world. And with that, this mind-bending story comes to an end.